Hello everyone, I'm very happy to be here today with Marie-Claire Daveu, Chief Sustainability Institutional Affairs Officer at Kering, beautiful title, owning brands such as Gucci, Saint Laurent, Balenciaga. Good morning.
Hi Erin, and hi everyone, very happy to have this conversation with you.
Today we'll be talking about fashion and circularity. Circularity is a buzzword of the moment, and we'll be trying to get a grip on this concept with you, Marie-Claire. Kering has also hot news to share. The group has just released a new report outlining its ambition on circularity. Before Marie-Claire gets back to this, let's start with a few figures, very scary figures, I'm sorry to add. 100 billion pieces of clothes are sold every year, which represents an increase in over 60% in the last 15 years. Textile production uses 4% of drinking water available in the world. 1.2 billion tons of greenhouse gas is produced each year by the textile sector. The good news is sustainability and protection of the planet at large have become a priority, a top priority for fashion industry, which have the means and the power to redefine their practices. Marie-Claire, could you outline for us this new concept of circularity?
Circularity or circular economy is a new model that consists moving away the current model, take, make, waste. According to the Ellen MacArthur Foundation, circularity is based on three principles. Mm-hmm. First, design out waste and pollution. Mm-hmm. Keep products, materials in use and regenerate natural system. In brief, in our fashion industry, circularity is not only about upcycling, recycling. It's really about rethinking the way we produce the products, we use the products, and also to extend the end of life of the materials and also of the products themselves.
A very global approach, in fact. Today, Kering has published a new report called Circularity's Ambition Coming Full Circle. Could you tell us more about this?
We are publishing today our ambition for Kering in circularity. It's really about where we want to go, how we will go there, and also what we have already done. This report is more than a strategy. It's really a new mindset that really reinforces what we are as a luxury group, where creativity, know-how, high quality of standards are really at the key. Mm-hmm. And in this report, we have three main axes. First, the luxury last. It's about repair, aftercare. Secondly, it's about regenerate materials, products, really linked with circular materials. And it's also about how we can produce with the most efficient system. So how to reduce consumption of energy, consumption of water, and also using regenerative agriculture.
And concretely, how does this translate into the brand's initiatives?
So first, when we are speaking about circularity in fashion, we have to think about circularity from the beginning. So when we speak about the design and the production of our products with durability, really physical durability. I would like to share with you a few concrete examples.
Please do.
We have created all over the world several hubs where we can repair our products, like if you were in our atelier in Italy or in France.
So we can bring back a bag.
Yes, exactly. And you will have really people with skills,
yes.
Training by our brands, really able to repair. Another example, I like the example made by one of our brand, Brioni.
Brioni, yes, I was going to talk about that. Yes.
They will reuse leftover fabric from previous collections. Mm-hmm. And our clients will be able to choose, to identify previous fabrics that are coming from previous collections. And our Brioni tailors will experiment. I can say that they are experimenting with a patchwork technique to upcycle scrap. So I think it's really interesting.
Very interesting. So if I understand correctly, circularity is not only about recycling, but it's still part of the job.
Of course, of course, it's a part of our job, and also it's interesting to think about products, but also about packaging. McHugh, one of our brand, is really also doing something very powerful for packaging. It's end-to-end packaging. So very concretely, from the starting point in the supplier, you give a specific packaging to the item. After the product will leave the supplier, it will go to the warehouse with the same packaging. After, it will keep the same packaging and it will go to our clients when they purchase. They will have the same packaging from the beginning
to the end.
Yes, and of course you have also recycle and upcycle linked directly to the products. Two very strong examples. One is coming from Gucci.
Yes,
last year they launched a specific,
yes,
exactly,
grid,
you know everything,
off the grid collection,
where they were using sustainable, organic, upcycling materials. So it's very interesting. And I would like also to mention that Gucci was the first luxury brand in 2016 to use ECONYL. So on one side you have Gucci. Other concrete example, our brand Balenciaga. In the pre-summer collection 21, over 90% of their fabrics, raw materials were sustainable, with upcycle raw materials, recycle raw materials, and certified sustainable. So you see, we have created, thanks to our designers and all the design team, really a strong energy to develop this kind of recycled fabric, sustainable fabric, upcycle. I think it's really virtuous for our group.
And what about secondhand? Because Kering has taken part of Vestiaire Collective. Obviously, it's a great new way of consumption of fashion. Some say the carbon print is not always great. Tell us about this.
I think to be part of the platform Vestiaire Collective, it fits very well with the business strategy, but also with our sustainability strategy. And as François-Henri Pinault said, second hand, it's really part of the modern luxury. And I think really also younger generation are expecting the brand to move with their centuries. So I think, you know, when you want to reach sustainability targets and to be very operational, you need to have a matrix approach. So you work from the beginning with the raw materials. You work also at the end of the life of the product and really to extend. And I think second hand, it's really a powerful way also to give access to people. Perhaps the young generation won't buy directly a new item. They have the possibility to buy also a luxury product.
It's very, very appealing to young consumers. And talking about younger generation consumers, studies show that they are very sensitive to environment, very sensitive to animal welfare and DNA. But do you think they look at luxury groups like Kering, and do they believe in this, their sustainability? What's their approach, in your opinion, on luxury brands?
First, and it's great, and I'm very happy that new generation, millennials, and above all Gen Z, are challenging the brands, the group, and fashion to be sure that we are really sustainable. So that's why I think as a group, and also with the conviction of François-Henri Pinault, we want to act on sustainability, but we want also to be vocal on sustainability to show that we have understood the issue, the challenges, and we think also that because we are in luxury, we set the trends, so we have also the specific responsibility to involve, not only the luxury sector, but more broadly. After, I have a personal feeling, which is the fact that beyond an employee, beyond a customer, you have a citizen. And I'm really convinced that if we want to tackle the most important issue of our century, climate change, loss of biodiversity, we need really to be involved. So I liked the fact that we are challenged by the young generation. So perhaps I'm crazy, but I love.
I totally agree on this. And we are challenged by our younger readers also. And that is why ELLE has also we've tried to raise awareness on sustainability, on the protection of the planet, and we've been doing so by doing just our job, which is being a reporter, being a journalist. We started our first issue of a green issue. We started in 2009, and at that point, it was very rare for a magazine to talk about sustainability in fashion and in beauty and in activism. So, and since then, since 2009, we haven't let down our guard on that because the young readers, that's what they want. They held us accountable about all these topics. So 2009, and today we do at least 2 or 3 spin-offs. We do events. You were a guest at the Fondation Planète last year. So it's something that is a drive for us to appeal to young generation, and they have challenged us for that, obviously. And in January, just to tell you about an issue we did that we had never done before, normally you know, ELLE, we put models on the cover, we put actresses on the cover, but we wanted to really raise awareness about the pollution in the oceans. So we put the ocean on the cover. Right. And that was huge success with the young generation. But it's not only what we tell in the magazine as reporters, as journalists, is we looked at the magazine and said, how can we be fully concerned about this problem? And we decided in 2011 that the print paper would be only issued from eco-responsible forests, 2011, so we're very happy with that. Our ink is also in phase with the Blue Angel label. 100% of our issues are recycled. Unsold issues are recycled. We're very happy when we don't have a lot of recycling, obviously. That means it's sold well. But what we've also done, and the readers responded very well to that, in May, we took off the varnish on our cover, which was a risk because, you know, ELLE is glamorous. Why did we do that? We did that because we realized that varnish was toxic for the planet, and issuing 300 issues a week, think about, you know, what we're doing to the planet. So we stopped that, and the readers really responded very well. So there. We're game changers too, like you. We try to do our part too.
So only one word. Congratulations, Erin, and congratulations to ELLE, because I think, and we have this conversation also with our clients, media and social media have really a responsibility to raise awareness, but also to propose some concrete solutions. So that's why we have really to work together and to try to give people concrete solutions.
Solutions, exactly. Because they held us accountable of what we say, obviously, and you too, you know. I fully agree on this. As this conversation comes to an end, I'd just like to share something that's pretty optimistic. Did you know that one French woman out of 3 has at least one eco-responsible piece of cloth in her dress code? And for 8 women out of 10, quality and sustainability is a major criteria when buying fashion, which is why we're challenged so much. And they don't want to replace their wardrobe every season or every year. This is very reassuring because I think we can all plead guilty. We all bought this 5-euro t-shirt because it wasn't expensive without questioning where it came from. Why is it so inexpensive? So what younger generation have challenged us to do is reassess the way we consume fashion.
I didn't know this data, to be honest, but I am not surprised. And I think also with the crisis, this expectation will only increase in the future. What I think really, as I mentioned previously, it's a responsibility of everyone to try to implement concrete action in the sustainability field and to protect our planet. When you listen to the scientific people, we know that on climate change and on biodiversity, we have less than 10 years to bend the curve. So I think we need to develop really a collaborative approach between, as we said, media and companies, but also in our sector and also with the other sector. but I'm really convinced, thanks to the young generation, we will be able to tackle the issue. So I will be also very optimistic because I see only between 2 years ago and now it's really changing. And also one stakeholder that we didn't speak up to now, it's the investor and financial analysts. And they are also more and more aware, they are paying more and more attention about what the companies are doing in this field. And I think so it will be again an ecosystem that change, and it will be very helpful to protect our planet.
10 years, I hope.
Less than 10 years.
Less than 10 years. Thank you very much for this conversation, Marie-Claire Daveu. It was really a pleasure.
Thank you so much, Erin.